Hello, and welcome to part one of my opera synopsis of Gianni Schicchi. This is going to be my spoiler-free opera synopsis that will get you set up halfway into the opera with the expectation that you'll enjoy and understand the rest. So, first a little bit of history about this opera. This opera was written by a famous Italian composer in 1918 by the name of Giacomo Puccini. I believe I said that right. I'm sorry, my Italian is not the best. In this opera, it takes place in the year 1299 in Florence, Italy. A man by the name of Buoso Denali has just died. Now, to help you put it into context, imagine Buoso being Jeff Bezos. All right, the richest man around, has a lot of money, has a lot of property. He has just died, and in his bedroom where he died is all of his family. And like vultures, they're circling around him. But in the beginning, they're not as greedy. They're all crying. They're all sad. Oh, poor Buoso. Oh, and they're weeping. And oh, the tragedy, until one person says, "Has anyone seen his will?" Now, for my younger students, a will is something that somebody writes down to say legally, when I die, my things, my possessions go to this person. So like if a husband and a wife were married, if the husband were to die, his will would say, please give all my money and my possessions to my wife. Now, Buoso did not have any direct descendants. He did not have any children or had a wife. So all of his extended family, his cousins, his uncles, his brother-in-law, are all there wondering who gets the money. Well, at that point, the whole family starts pulling apart his house, like tearing things up, looking for the will. One young man by the name of, let's see if I can say this right, Rinuccio, who is a tenor, who has this wonderful, leading voice. He's the pretty guy who's usually the hero in all the operas. All right, he's the leading tenor. He finds the will. Now, before they open it up, he turns to his family and says, hey, before we read this will, do I have your permission to marry this very, very beautiful girl by the name of Loretta? She is the daughter of Gianni Schicchi, the man whom this opera is named after. Well, the family looks at him and says, so long as we get everything in the will and we get all the money, you can marry whoever you like. We don't care. We want money. And at that moment, the family starts reading the will. And they find out a big issue has happened. Buoso has left all of his money, not to his family, but to charity and to the church. And at that point, you actually see the true color of these family members. They start talking bad about Buoso. They start saying, oh my goodness, I never thought I would actually cry for real at his funeral. These are some nasty people. And sure enough, they turn to the young leading tenor and say, no, you're not going to marry who you want. We want money. At that point, the young man starts thinking, you know what, this Gianni Schicchi guy is pretty smart. I think he can help us out. And in fact, he even sings this song to his family to encourage them, hey, you should trust in Gianni Schicchi, he's great. And you'll hear it, he's going to sing off the walls for that one. Well, sure enough, Schicchi shows up with his daughter, Loretta, who's this beautiful, enchanting, sweet, and kind of dumb soprano. Let's be honest, the two young lovers are stupid. And while that's kind of true in a lot of operas, the young lovers are all in love and they're so great, and they usually don't think things out ahead of time. So, Gianni Schicchi shows up, and within a few minutes of talking to the family, talking to the young lovers, seeing Buoso there, Gianni Schicchi realizes, I don't want anything to do with you guys. I'm out. I'm done. And the family turns to their young Rinuccio and says, well, you're not going to get the money, so you're not going to marry this girl. And besides, Gianni Schicchi is poor. We're rich. We don't want you marrying to a poor girl. At that moment, Loretta sings a beautiful aria, and in fact, this is the aria that made the opera. If you were to remember anything out of this opera, remember this aria. And the name of the aria is O mio bambino caro, which means, oh, daddy. And in fact, she's doing the typical sweet little girl, oh, daddy, I want to marry this man, please, please. And in fact, she actually says in the aria, if you don't let him marry him, I will go jump off a bridge and drown in the river. Yes, this is opera. People are very dramatic and they go over the top on things. I think I've given you a good startup synopsis here because I'm not going to tell you the rest unless you want to watch my next video. But I do want to point out the three videos I have selected in the links down below. The first one comes from the Michigan State University College of Music. They did a production of Gianni Schicchi in September of 2019. The next one I have is from the NBC opera dated in 1952. Interesting fact for my younger viewers, way back in the 1940s, 1950s, NBC, ABC was originally a radio production company that would send out radio broadcasts, and then as television came to be, they started adapting television. Now NBC today is known as a television studio, but they originally started in radio. And in fact, the orchestra that you hear is officially the NBC orchestra that would play concerts during their live radio productions. What I also like about this opera production is that it's actually in English. If you're not one who likes to read subtitles and you want to hear it in English, it can be done there. But please know, this is 1952, so everything's in black and white. The third and final link I found here was actually, it's not an official link, but it's from the Royal Opera House in London, from a 2011 production of Gianni Schicchi. What I like about this is that a lot of operas are set in certain dates, but sometimes production companies like to change things up a bit. In this opera, they're dressed up like it's the 1960s. In fact, you'll even see them watching soccer on the television at the very beginning of it. Both the Michigan opera and the London opera are done in the original Italian, but there are subtitles and are easy to follow. If you're not used to listening to opera with sublets or subtitles, a good suggestion I would like to give to people who are not used to this is go ahead and read the words. Try to watch the people if they can. Use the music to gauge what emotionally the people are feeling or you as a viewer should feel. So think of the music as in how is the mood right now, and follow along with the words. If you are interested in knowing how the rest of the opera goes, or you want to hear some of my after comments on that, I'll save that for my spoiler video. But for now, get the popcorn out, get your remote, and enjoy Puccini's Gianni Schicchi.